And we're going to do 30 seconds. You're convinced you're going to lose already? We haven't even started the game yet.
It's only 30 seconds. That's not fair.
Okay, so we're just going to have to move quick without thinking much about it, okay?
Right.
Are you ready?
I mean, then you will.
Go. Go ahead.
I did.
You want to take my man, right? Okay, go ahead.
You can't go 2.
Go. We only have 10 seconds left. Keep going.
You can't do that.
Keep going. Okay.
Do that.
Is it time? We have more time. Go ahead.
Stop.
Oh, time's up.
Well,
Who won?
I'm taking the space because you cheated.
You're using a word over and over and over again. And that word is cheated. Cheated. You keep accusing me of cheating.
Cheated.
I cheated.
It's not fair. You can't play like that.
Okay, what did I do that was cheating?
Oh, you went like this.
So I moved off the board?
Yeah,
and you're saying
and you skipped 2 places at once. And you're not allowed to do that.
I'm not allowed to do it.
There has to be a space there. It's not
So you're saying that there are rules?
Yeah, there's definitely rules to the game.
Okay, rules to the game.
Or it's not fair.
Okay, I admit you're right. I cheated. I broke some of the rules to the game. You win by default.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Thank you for playing.
I win.
Did you hear her say? Give her a hand. There are rules to the game. There are boundaries. I'm not allowed to move off the board. I'm supposed to stay on the board. Duh, right? Isn't that what you're thinking? Yeah, absolutely, duh. I'm not allowed to move more than a certain number of places. There are rules to this thing. See, we can understand it in a simple context like a game of checkers. There are rules. There are boundaries. There are some things you're allowed to do. There are some things you're not allowed to do, because if you do the things you're not supposed to, it doesn't work right. The game can't be played right. Now, let's keep that concept for a minute, and let's begin to look at God's vision. Just like in checkers, there are rules to the game, there are boundaries in sexuality. There are rules for the game. There are boundaries. Let's look and see what God says. Hebrews chapter 13, verse 4. Marriage should be honored by all, and the marriage bed kept pure. For God will judge the adulterer and all the sexually immoral. There are 2 terms there that are referenced. He says God will judge this group and this group. Adultery basically is having sex outside of your marriage relationship. So if I'm married and I go have some kind of sexual behavior with someone other than my wife, I'm committing adultery. I'm breaking my marriage covenant. I'm going outside my marriage. That's committing adultery. There's this other group, all the sexually immoral. That's kind of an umbrella term that covers every kind of sexual behavior that's not in marriage. In other words, if I'm doing something sexually and I'm not married, that's sexual immorality. Depending on what versions or translations into English you have, you may see the word fornication sometimes. Again, that word basically means any sexual behavior that's happening between 2 people who are not married to each other. It may involve adultery if one of them's married, or it may not involve adultery. It may just be sexual immorality or fornication. But understand that what God is saying here is, in marriage, it's pure. There is nothing wrong with 2 people who are married being sexual with each other. That's God's design. That's His plan. But anything that happens sexually outside of that relationship is either adultery or immorality, fornication. Understand, it's kind of the rule for the game. We know there are rules with things like checkers. God says, this thing I made called sex, it has some rules. Here's the rule. In marriage, it's good. Anywhere else, it's not appropriate. It's not the way I intended it to be. Let's look at another passage here that puts it in a little bit different terms. From the book of Proverbs, chapter 5. Now you have to understand that there is a level of metaphor here. He's going to talk about a fountain. He's going to talk about water, a cistern. He doesn't mean a water fountain or a well. He's talking about sex. So understand that when he's saying fountain, well, cistern, running water, That's a metaphor. He's meaning sexual behavior here. Drink water from your own cistern, running water from your own well. Should your springs overflow into the streets, your streams of water in the public squares, let them be yours alone, never to be shared with strangers. May your fountain be blessed, and may you rejoice in the wife of your youth, a loving doe, a graceful deer. May her breast satisfy you always. May you ever be captivated by her love. I'm not kidding. This is in the Bible. This is out of the book of Proverbs. Do you get the idea? He says, hey, your water, your streams, your fountain, don't let those go in public places. Don't share those with strangers. That's only between you and your wife. Again, we're looking at the boundaries, the context. God says, hey, in marriage, this is a good thing. Anywhere outside of marriage, it's not appropriate.